This module is going to focus on enhancing your use of Schoology, specifically using groups for connecting, collaborating, and sharing resources, specifically with those outside of your building and expanding your PLC. This is incredibly important at the secondary level because many teachers are in a PLC of one, which we know makes for a very lonely PLC. For example, at the high school, many of our advanced placement teachers are the sole teacher of that course in the district. Same is true for many of our CTE and other advanced content courses, such as engineering. In Colonial, groups allow for even more collaboration for levels. For example, with our middle school redesign, it's possible that middle school and high school teachers can now collaborate in Schoology to vertically align their curricula to enhance the programs that we do offer, spanning from grades 6 through 12. Schoology is one way that you can expand your PLC and work with teachers of the same or similar content in different buildings, districts, states, and even countries. Now, many groups have other resources such as Facebook where they already share info, and those are great, but you should remain part of those groups. But making a PLC group in Schoology will help you collaborate and develop blended lessons with other Schoology users. So imagine having access to a huge test bank of questions, which would then allow you to randomize the questions you assign to students or on test. Or if one of your colleagues from afar is an expert in one unit and you really rock another, think about how you can both manage your time more efficiently by developing and sharing materials in Schoology. Today we're going to go through a model using a recently created AP Human Geography group as a model of how you can use Schoology groups to collaborate with others. It is recommended that when you develop materials in Schoology, you publish it in your group with a Creative Commons license. If you're not familiar with that, more information will be shared through future PDs as well. All right, so let's get to it. Before we really get into it, make sure that you have 2 tabs open for Schoology, and that's just really best practice whenever you're going through any online training session where you have to do tasks and you have to build stuff as the trainer's teaching you, because that will allow you to have the module going over here, which you can see, but then also the work that you're doing. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be working in this newly created AP Human Geography course. If you don't have a group set up that you are part of already that expands beyond your building and not one of the curriculum and instruction groups that all English teachers or all social studies teachers are in, go ahead and take a moment, pause the video, pay attention to the time, and create a group. If you're not sure how to create a group, please stop the module at this point and either ask a colleague or ask your building tech coordinator. Okay, so at this point you should all have a group made that you're able to work in for this module. We're going to work within the same module, and we're kind of just going to build small things within the group. And you're going to notice, if you haven't used groups before, if you haven't developed or cultivated materials in there, that it's very similar to building it in courses. And it really serves just as a repository for you to share materials with others. So right now you see the AP Human Geography course. I recently created it right around Thanksgiving. I forget the exact date, November 28th. There we go. And you can see it was designed for AP teachers who are often one of the only content area. Right now we only have 8 members, so it's really small, and there is nothing of value yet in this group. You can see right now that I have the date for the AP exam. You can see the resources, and the resources right now, they look pretty because there's all those pretty colored folders, but there is no content within the folders. And these folders are really just the different units that have been itemized by the College Board. So there's really nothing of value yet. And that really brings us to an important part about groups, and that the power of the group lies in the teachers and the members of the group. That when you develop and cultivate and share materials, that it becomes really valuable, and that it's quick then to add materials into your course, which we'll show in a little bit. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, you want to go ahead and set up some folders in your group. And even though I have some here, I'm going to go ahead and add another one just as a model. So I'm going to add folder, and I'm going to call it just general course information. Okay, there we go. Here is a folder of general course info, such as shared syllabi, general ideas, launch activities, etc. I'm going to go ahead and create that. Okay, so you'll see that it's right down there. Oop, I want to change the color of that because I never like to have two folders of the same color right next to each other. It's my own little OCD. I did also, side note, submit a feature request to Schoology because I would love some patterns on some of these folders here. Wouldn't it be fabulous if we could have some polka dots or chevrons or animal prints or something? That would be fun. All right, so now I have the folder, and I'm going to go in, and now I need to add some resources. So I have up here, I have journal course details. I'm going to go ahead and copy that link. I'm going to add a resource. I'm going to add a link. General. Wow, I cannot write. What was it called? Details. Okay. You have the options of aligning learning objectives, displaying in Schoology, or adding some additional information. You can put some resource notes there. You can put the level there, resource type. Yeah, you can do whatever you'd like. Then you can add, and you have shared your first resource there. You're now going to and then from this you can add quickly to a course. So once the resources are shared in that group, all you have to do is click on the gear shift over here, click add to course. All of your courses will pop up, and you can add it to whichever sections you want, and then you can put it in whichever folder you want for the appropriate unit. Okay. So now this section of the module is going to stop, and you are going to have an assignment to complete to go through the same thing we just did on your own in the course that you have developed. Okay,